What's going on, everybody? If you stumbled across this page or somebody sent you this video, obviously they care about you or you're here to learn more about financial literacy, things like that. But before we get started with that, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Tiffany Scott. I am the child of 2 military veterans. In my adult career, I did what most of our parents said to do. I went to school to get a good government job. I actually joined the law enforcement and I became the first Black female to actually join the SWAT team within my department. I'm a mom of 2, and like most of us, most millennials, we're trying to build generational wealth, travel the world, really experience life and give back to our community. So if you're like me, watch to the end. So who are we? We're PHP. We were acquired by Integrity Marketing Group. PHP stands for People Helping People. We are an FMO, which stands for Financial Marketing Organization. Now, what we do is we market on behalf of companies like National Life Group, John Hancock, AIG, Allianz, and many, many other Fortune 500 companies. Now, here's the issue within where we are right now in this business. The average agent is a 61-year-old white male. Nothing wrong with being 61, nothing wrong with being white. However, the challenge is, obviously, they're gonna typically market to one demographic, one market. That's 61-year-old white men. Now, who's that leaving behind? Legitimately everyone else. And the great thing about all of these Fortune 500 companies, they don't care about your ethnicity, they don't care about your background. All they care about is distribution of financial services. Where does that leave us? Well, if I'm a 61-year-old white male, I'm not marketing to millennials, I'm not marketing toward Gen Zs, I'm not marketing towards minorities or women. So that's where we come in. So this is our CEO, our founder, Patrick Bet-David. He's an Assyrian Armenian. He has a #1 show on YouTube called Valuetainment, where he is just bringing value to entrepreneurs. Not only that, he's also a former military guy. So we're a veteran-owned company. Thank you all for your service. Now, this slide is actually one of the things I'm most proud of. This is what our executive board consists of. This is what our board councils look like. We resemble what America looks like today. Millennials, we're 54% women. We're actually 42% Hispanic, 32% African American. We're 13% Caucasian, 11% other. So we are super duper diverse. The people who make the most money within this company, they're actually Matt and Sheena Sapala. They make over $2.3 million per year. That's unheard of in this company. This is a typical good old boys whiskey and cigar club. But like I said, we truly resemble what America looks like today. Now, it doesn't matter how big your business is or how small your business is. You're paid based off of the size of the problems that you solve. So #1, which we went over, is distribution. A 61-year-old white male is going to be a little bit difficult to get into every single demographic. So that's where you and I come in. We're going to be able to introduce these products to our market, helping out with generational wealth, financial literacy, and things like that. Speaking of financial literacy, that's actually another problem that we're solving. If you grew up like me, I made a ton of mistakes when it comes to my credit in my 20s and 30s and recovering in our 40s and 50s to maybe be able to retire in your 60s. This horrible wisdom we typically learn from the School of Hard Knocks. If you grew up in my household, I was told if I was talking about money to stay out of grown folks' business. But that's just the way we grew up. We didn't learn about financial literacy in grade school or even college for that matter. So we're actually changing the trajectory of what the future looks like by teaching financial literacy at early ages. And the last thing is entrepreneurship. This day and age, we're not gonna be blessed the way that the boomers were. We're not gonna be able to work 20, 30 years with the guarantee of being able to retire. Things like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, even our own retirements will be diminished to almost nothing because obviously we know that inflation is going up, not going down. So we need to be able to supplement what we're doing or just venture into entrepreneurship altogether. This is what we teach everyone, from whether you have a lot of bit of money or a little bit of money. We teach you the 3 ways that money grows. And those are fixed, variable, and index. And of course, there's plus and minuses to everything we do. Now, what's a fixed account? A fixed account are your banks, CDs, money markets, money under the mattress. Believe it or not, people still do that. But why do people actually like these fixed accounts? Well, it's the safety aspect of it. The FDIC insures us up to $250,000, saying that, if the bank goes down, we're gonna actually make sure that you are insured up to $250,000. But what's the downside? The downside is that you're getting little to no growth, anywhere from 0 to 1%. Actually, the average is 0.02%. And at that rate, it'll take you 3,200 years to double your money, right? That's not really the greatest way to grow your money. So on a chart, it looks like this. Very low creeping, very slow growth. Now, what are variable accounts? Variable accounts are anything like your stock markets, cryptocurrency, Forex, real estate, your retirement plans that are your 401k, your IRA, TSP, 403b, all of those are considered variable accounts. Now, what do we like about these accounts? Obviously the money, honey, right? We can actually grow some money in these accounts. But what's the downside? The downside is that you can lose all or a portion of your money. In my lifetime, we've actually experienced 4 market crashes. The dot-com bubble, the 2001 Twin Towers market crash, the 2007-2008 real estate market crash, and then also the COVID-19 market crash. So it's not a matter of if the market will crash, it's when the market will crash. And where is your money in times like these? So if you look at it on a chart, it looks like this: up, down, up, down, and then obviously the crash. Now, the last is index. Most of us are taught the first 2 categories, but very rarely are we taught about indexed accounts. Now, what is index accounts? Those are your IULs, Indexed Universal Life Insurance, and FIAs, Fixed Index Annuities. Yes, folks, I am talking about insurance products as a place to grow your money. But why do people actually like these accounts? The ones who know about it, your Rockefellers, your Walt Disneys of the world, your Ray Krocs. These moguls have actually built their empires on these life insurance policies. Why? Because of safety. It's a contractual agreement between you and the insurance company saying that they can never lose a dime of your money. Now they're saying, all right, Tiff, well, that sounds great, but what's the downside? There's gotta be a catch. The catch is you're actually capped on growth. Anywhere from 0 to 9%, you're gonna see that growth. So what's that mean? Let's say this year the market skyrockets, right? The market goes up 20%. We're actually gonna see 9% of that 20%. The following year, what happens? The market goes up 8%. We're gonna see all 8% growth. Now here's where you really need to tune in. Let's say that a crazy pandemic comes back from wherever it came from and it crashes our market negative 38% like it did in a month. You're actually not gonna lose a shiny cent in these index accounts. That's the power of them. If you look at it on a chart, it goes like this. When the market's up, you lock in your gains and you're up. When the market's down, you're flat, you haven't lost anything, where everyone else in variable accounts are losing their money and losing their minds. So these are safe accounts, right? So we like the safety within a fixed account, but we don't like the low growth. We like the growth of a variable account, but we don't like to lose any money, especially now. We like the safety and we like the growth within an index account. So to me, I say you kind of get the best of both worlds. If you're like me, I like to be diverse. I like to make sure that my money is in multiple places. So even if I'm losing in an area, I'm either not losing or gaining in another. So diversity is definitely the name of the game here. So I believe in all 3. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard of a gentleman named Warren Buffett. If you haven't, no worries. He's a deca billionaire, ton of books on money. He has 2 rules of money. Rule number 1, don't lose money. Rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. He keeps it very simple for us. Now with our index accounts, there's something that's called principal protection, something that the other 2 do not have. What's principal protection state? Let's say that I give you $100 to put on Apple stock. Let's say that Apple stock goes down by 50%. So $100 down by 50%, I have $50. If the market goes back up by 50%, how much money do you have now? Most people say $75. No, just kidding. Most people say if I have $50, the market goes back up 50%, I have $100. You're actually incorrect. I was one of those people that got that wrong too, right? You actually have $75. 50% of $50 is 25 plus 50 equals 75. But that's because most people don't have principal protection tied to their money, which is why most people who are dealing with money, they'll talk to you in interest or they'll talk to you in percentages versus dollars and cents. Because if you realize how much money you were losing in these accounts, you'd be tempted to take your money out. Let's say that most people have fixed accounts. I would assume that most people have bank accounts. Most people have some type of retirement, maybe have some money in stocks, but it's very rare that people have money in indexed accounts. And why is that? Because of lack of information, or that financial literacy piece, which is why we're here. So moving on, the next is the 5 homes of money. We talked about the 3 ways that money grows. Now we're going to talk about the 5 homes of money. Those 5 homes of money are banks, those are your stock markets, qualified plans, which are your 401ks, TSPs, IRAs, 403bs. We already talked about those. Also real estate, and then you also get life insurance. Now, with all of them, we're going to measure each one by liquidity. What is liquidity state? It says, can I take my money out within 24 to 48 hours? The next one is safety of principal. If I put my money into this vehicle, is it safe? Can I lose? Do I get any tax advantages or tax deductions from keeping my money into one of these vehicles? And then also growth. And I'm not talking about a little bit of growth. I'm talking about enough growth to outpace inflation. So if you're not making over 3.5% growth within these vehicles, then you're actually losing money. So enough growth to outpace inflation. Now at the top, you'll see of bank, stock markets, qualified plans, real estate, life insurance, you'll see the FVI, that just stands for fixed, variable, and indexed. All things that we used and learned in the prior 3 ways that money grows. So let's go ahead and tally these up. Can I take my money out of a bank within 24 to 48 hours? Of course, there are ATMs. You actually have your bank apps. You can send money back and forth. Like, it's definitely liquid, right? Now, what about stock markets? Well, actually, nowadays, it is very liquid. You know, you have your Acorn, your Robinhood, you got your crypto.com. You know, you have all these types of apps that you're actually able to take money, exchange money right from the palm of your hands with your phone. Now, what about qualified plans? If I have a 401k, can I draw from it if I'm a 30-year-old? Actually, no, because you have to be of a qualified age to actually withdraw your money. And even if you do touch it, you have to pay it back. And if you touch it before the qualified age, then you're actually taxed and penalized from touching your own money. Nobody wants to go through those changes. So qualified plans actually are not liquid. Now, what about real estate? If I bought my home today and I sold it tomorrow, will I get all my money back in 24 to 48 hours? Not likely. It's going to take some time. It has to go through all of these changes. You have to, get a real estate or a realtor. You have to market it. All these other things. Real estate, even though it's a great vessel to have in your portfolio, it's not liquid. It's actually one of the most illiquid assets to have. So real estate is not liquid. Now, what about life insurance, right? The new life insurance, talking about your FIAs and your IULs, Index Universal Life. Those are actually safe accounts, and they are also liquid, right? You can get your money within 24 to 48 hours. Now, let's talk about safety of principal. We already said that in the three ways money grows that banks are safe, right? Up to $250,000. Stock market, not so much, right? Because it's really just based off of how the markets do. They go up and they go down. Qualified plans, they're tied to the stock market, so they also are not safe vehicles. And real estate, I can't guarantee you that you won't lose money in real estate. Typically, like I said, it's a good investment to have, but there's no guarantee that you won't lose value on a home. What about life insurance, the new life insurance? Obviously, that contractual agreement, right, saying that they can't lose any of your money. So that's also safe. Now let's talk about tax deductions. We know that in a bank you're not getting any tax deduction, nor are you getting any tax advantages when it comes to your banks. Now stock markets, you're not getting any deductions or advantages in the stock market either. Now what about your qualified plans? Do you get tax deductions there? 100%, right? So if I have a 401k and I make $100,000 a year, let's say I put $30,000 of my income into a 401k, right? The way that the IRS is going to view it is, okay, she put $30,000 of her money into her retirement. So we're actually only going to tax her off of the $70,000. And the IRS, as I said, you're making less money even though you're just putting it away for your future retirement. What about tax advantage? You actually do get tax advantages. But let me ask you this. Are taxes going up or are taxes going down? They're going up. So would you rather be taxed now, later, or never? Probably never. So instead of taxing you now, when you know what the tax rate's going to be, they're going to tax you later when you have no clue where taxes will be. More than likely, it'll be higher. So is your dollar really going to stretch as much when it's retirement time and when you need your money the most? Not likely. So let's go on to real estate. There's no tax deductions unless that's like your full-time job. You're flipping real estate, you're flipping in and selling in, things like that. But typically, for the average American that just buys their home and lives in it, there aren't really any tax deductions. Tax advantages, you can write pieces of your home off at the end of the year when it's time to file taxes, of course. But what about life insurance, the new life insurance? Are there any types of tax deductions or advantages there? Well, there are no tax deductions, but you do get tax advantages. Utilizing tax code 7702, you actually have the IRS that says that they can't tax you on any of the growth within these policies. You guys, this is why the wealthy continue to be wealthy, because they know tricks of the trade like this. If I can grow my money and Uncle Sam can't touch it, I can't be sued for it, right? I can't get into a divorce and my wife or my husband take half. this is a phenomenal vehicle to utilize. Now let's go to growth, right? Banks, not getting into growth. Again, anywhere from 0 to 2%, not enough to outpace inflation. Stock market, you would definitely get some growth there, but you can also lose. Same thing with your qualified plans and real estate. You can gain, but you can also lose. Life insurance, you can gain, but you cannot lose within these policies. So let's tally them up. We got your banks, we got 2 out of 5, stock market 2 out of 5, qualified plans 3 out of 5, which is really a 2 out of 5. Real estate, you get a 2 out of 5. Life insurance, you get a 4 out of 5. And for my business owners, we'll have a separate conversation offline because we can actually make that a 5 out of 5. Let's go ahead and move along here. Life insurance is obviously the best vehicle, but again, like I said, having a diverse portfolio is the only way to make sure that you are continuously growing your money. So even though life insurance is the winner here, I believe in diversification. I believe in all 5. Let's go. All right, so now timing is everything in business. What happened in the 70s that kind of changed the way that we just move as a human race? Back then, there was 500,000 licensed agents to about 204 million people. Now, back then, well, they're playing outside most of the time, right? You didn't really have those technology aspects kind of bogging you down. But today, right, they had that scare that, oh my gosh, people are going to start going to the internet for their life insurance, for handling their funds. So they kind of fell off. All those licensed life insurance agents are like, okay, well, they probably won't need us. I probably need to go back to, working for someone else. So the licensed population decreased. But the boomers, they came around and they shot our population up sky high. So now we're in a position to where we have more demand and less supply. That is a beautiful place to be in business. So that's where we are today. That's why it's actually a phenomenal place to be in life insurance today, because we don't really have as many people in the life. It's not as saturated. Now, I don't have to tell you guys about inflation because I know you're already fully aware. I remember going to the grocery store with my mom when I was a kid. We would be able to put $100 worth of groceries into the shopping cart, and it would literally like tower over the shopping cart for $100. Today, if I go in with $100, I can walk out of the grocery store with $100 in my arms. Guys, inflation is crazy, right? And it's not going to get any better. It's not likely. We need to create our own wealth. We need to learn financial literacy concepts. We need to have an accessory to our 9 to 5, or we need to just branch out and have that faith and that belief in ourselves that we're going to make it regardless of what the market does. So this is our crusade, and this is what we truly believe in. I'm going to go into the meat and potatoes of what we teach, the types of policies that we get into. But before I jump into that, I have to say, we are not your typical life insurance company. We're a little different. If I asked you, hey, my beautiful viewers, would you guys be cool with going to a life insurance conference with me tomorrow? Probably not. It sounds pretty boring. But if you take a look at this, obviously we invite the best of the best. So we had Shaquille O'Neal, late and great Kobe Bryant before he passed away. We were actually his last interview, guys. We had George W. Bush. Regardless of your views on policies, it's pretty impressive to have a former president talk to your life insurance company. It took the Secret Service 2 years to vet our company before he was actually able to speak. So these are the type of guest speakers that we have. So we're a different type of company. So let's jump into it. If you're open to earning a secondary income, or if you're just curious as to what types of policies are out there, these are just the main types of policies. There are other ones out there, of course. Now, the first one is a term policy. And how does this go? Well, let's say I'm a 30-year-old female. I'm in the market for life insurance. I want at least $500,000 to cover my family if anything were to happen to me. If I had this policy in effect, I were to die tomorrow, God forbid, my family would receive $500,000. Now, on average, right, all of these numbers are averages. For this type of policy for a 30-year-old, it'll be about $50. We're actually paid 12 months advanced upfront for our efforts of introducing this to our circles. NLG, Allianz, National Life Group, Foresters will say, hey, Tiff, thank you so much for introducing us to your circle. The average agent typically can't get into these circles. Thank you for this introduction. They're going to pay you up front, right? Times our average contract within our office, which is 50%, we're making $300 for 1 to 2 hours of work. Part-time, most cases, anywhere in the world where you have a laptop and some internet. Not bad. So what's in it for our clients? Because we're people helping people. Well, first, it's just cheap policy. $50 isn't typically going to break the bank, right? And you're going to protect your family as well. What's the downside? The downside, I'm a 30-year-old, 30 years from now, I'm 60. I no longer have life insurance. I'm definitely hoping to make it to 60, but it's typically, we're healthier in our 30s than in our 60s. So God forbid I have any illnesses that prevent me from getting another policy altogether, or it just being significantly more expensive, right? So that's the downside. Now, the next is something called ROP, which stands for return of premium. What does that mean? Oh, let's say that you have Geico for your car insurance. I'm the little gecko that says, hey, you know, if you don't get in a car accident in the next 5 years, I'm gonna refund you back all of your money. Who wouldn't sign up for that car insurance? It doesn't exist in car insurance, but it does exist in life insurance where you're literally paid to not die. I like those odds. So, same 30-year-old female in the market for $500,000 of life insurance. On average, this costs about $100 a month. This is what people put into these policies. Again, we're paid upfront times the average contract. We're making $600 for 1 to 2 hours of work. Part-time, most cases, anywhere in the world as long as you have a laptop and internet. Phenomenal money. It takes maybe the average person 4 to 5 days to make this kind of money, where you can make this in the comfort of your home, 1 to 2 hours. Great for us. What's in it for our clients, right? Obviously, you're gonna get a full refund. Most people wouldn't mind getting insurance if they knew that they're gonna get all their money back. But what's the downside? The downside is this is still going to expire. So I'm now a 60-year-old female in the market again for life insurance. Now, the very last one we're gonna talk about, we've already touched on a little bit, and this is the ULs, IULs, Index Universal Life Insurance. So I'm looking for the same $500,000 worth of death benefit. The average person puts about $250 per month in this policy. Times our average contract, we're making about $1,500 for 1 to 2 hours of work. You guys, it takes people 2 weeks to make this kind of money, or you're making it from anywhere in the world with a laptop and internet connection. This is powerful stuff here, right? Great for us, right? Now, I'm gonna be completely transparent with you guys, right? I didn't get into the life insurance industry just to, give back to the community. I also, complete transparency, I wanted to build long-term wealth for my family as well. I'm helping other people do it. Why not me do it as well? Now, here's the magic. We get paid residuals with these policies. So that means I'm gonna get 4% from a policy like this, which is about 120 bucks. That doesn't seem like a lot at a glance, but you guys, most people, I would say 95% of people, have no idea what you just learned in the past 20 minutes. Huge market. So if I'm helping one person a week, 2 people a week, 3 people a week, 10 people a week, this is gonna start to compound. So I'm getting residual income from something I did one time. And the best thing is I get to will this business to my kids. When I'm dead and gone, they're gonna have an asset that they're gonna continuously be able to run and pass on to their children and so on and so forth, right? So again, great for me. What's in it for our clients? Our most valuable asset is our clients. It's a permanent policy. So if I'm in the market for life insurance, how long would you really want life insurance? Probably your entire life. Well, this is a permanent policy, so it'll last you for the duration of your life. Great. Second is you're building cash value, anywhere from 0 to 9%. Thirdly, that tax code 7702, man, the IRS, they slide the benefits in there, so it's not really a wide known thing. Tax code 7702 says you're getting tax-free growth on your money, guys. Phenomenal products here. Last but not least, this is probably one of my favorite things about this policy is living benefit. Living benefit states that if I get a heart attack, stroke, COVID-19, any qualifying illness or injury, I'm able to access up to 90% of the death benefit while I'm still alive. The power in this is we all know somebody who suffered some type of illness, some type of disease, or something that eventually took their life. When something like that happens, obviously that if it's a 2-person income, that means that their income is now split in half. And people are suffering financially while also trying to focus on their health. This could have saved so many people from bankruptcy, which, by the way, the #1 cause of bankruptcy is health bills. This can save so many families from destruction financially. We're passing on generational wealth, not generational curses. These are all things that we want to share with our community. Now, let's say that you're in the market to get an additional income, to learn and gain a skill to bring value to the market. Let's say that. Well, we're a highly regulated industry. No felonies or misdemeanors, especially dealing with money. You have to get licensed. We're a highly regulated industry. We're dealing with people's social security numbers. We're dealing with banking information. We have to make sure that you are a person of value and also a person that is able to, handle that type of information. But also, last but not least, we have an agency platform fee of $199. That $199 is actually going to take care of a lot of things for you. First is your corporate support in Addison, Texas. You're actually able to, if you want to really scale this business, they're going to take care of your payroll, compliance, licensing, and support. You guys, we have special events, I would say 3 times a year, right? They're going to take care of all your training. We have training over Zoom, right? 4 times out of the week. This is really built for a part-timer, but if you wanted to scale this business, there's room for you too. Last but not least, we also get a tech-enabled back office platform called Bamboo, which essentially allows you to run your business from anywhere in the world, right? It organizes all your clients for you, lets you know where you are in the month. It's really phenomenal technology. It's allowed us to scale to the #1 FMO in the entire country, right? So that's what you get for that one-time fee of $199, guys. The last thing I want to show you guys, right, is what the average agent makes, right? Within our office, if you're a part-timer, we're going to see somebody making maybe about $2,400 a month, which equates to $28,000 a year. Not bad for part-time. And when I say part-time, I mean part-time, 48 hours per week. Max, right? $28,000 a year, that's not bad part-time. If you are still, you're scaling up a little and you're getting your skill, you're starting to learn and really starting to develop the skill set, and you're helping maybe 4 families per week, you're making about $7,200 a month, which is about $86,000 a year. Guys, part-time, you're making what most people don't make full-time. The average income is $72,000 to $78,000 per year. You're making this part-time. Now, if you really want to scale your business, you want to build something and to leave behind for generations to come, you want to become a full-time here with PHP, you can make anywhere from $360,000 a year to $2.3 million a year. And then, right, I'm not even gonna cap you guys, right? You can make as much money or as little money as you want here in PHP, right? And that's because this is the 2nd highest paid profession in the world, second only to professional sports, right? Financial services is really the catalyst that is making and circulating the money within America. So if you're watching this video and you've gotten to the end, congratulations. I know that attention spans are crazy short nowadays, right? But that means obviously you're serious about building generational wealth for you and your family. If somebody sent you this video, be sure to get back to them. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to DM, like, share, comment below, and I'll be sure to get back to you.